Yo, what is going on? My name is SweetPhil, and you see right here we are rocking a sorceress, but this is something you've probably never done before. Maybe if you have, let me know down in the comments, and you're probably an OG player, because this is one that not a lot of people have really done, and it is actually the Charge Bolt Sorceress. Yes, you heard me right. If you're getting tired of playing Lightning and Nova, and you don't want to really have to go out and trade for an entire new set of gear to do a different character, you could always just kind of get a token and respec over to the Charge Bolt Sorceress, and it is really darn good. Now, looking at this build, that's super quick. Actually, this is Energy Shield, so right behind my head over here, you see it's actually maxed energy. Now, that's because Energy Shield, the damage goes towards your mana, so you want that energy pumped up. You see up here, we got split between strength and dex, roughly around 125. It's because I'm self-wielding infinity, and because on single player, I can't make 9 different infinities. I actually put it in a man catcher, which is a great base for the Act 2 Mercenary, and it has relatively low requirements for the self-wielding on a sorceress. So I got to get that up to the 125 over here. I have no base points into vitality. And once again, just behind my bald dome over here, you can see the resistances are pretty low. They don't matter that much. Really, poison res and poison length reduce are the best, or the one that's the most important. But with the setup that we have on this particular build, you can actually get around that. And as long as you play semi-safe, this is not an immortal sorceress, but it does have a lot of survivability if you play it right. Now, taking a look at the skill tree, 1-point wonder frozen armor, obviously 1-point wonder on warmth as well. Those are completely obvious, but everything else is going over on the lightning skill tree. Now, you're obviously using Charge Bolt, cap that out at 20 skill points, cap out lightning because if you've seen up here, it is a synergy for that Charge Bolt. Then you come down to Lightning Mastery, and of course, we're going to cap that out for getting these much damage as possible. I know the overall number does not look particularly high, and each skill point at this point does get you a lot of damage, but with the combination of obviously Sunder Charm, Self-Wielding Infinity, Conviction Aura, all that good stuff, and 24 Charge Bolts, all hopefully hitting the same monsters at the same time, it really can help you out a ton. 1-point wonder here over on static, but generally I never even get a chance to use this. Most stuff dies pretty quick. You could use static if you're one of those people, and if I never include it on a build, people lose their minds in the comments. So I decided to put 1 point into that just to, make those people happy, I suppose. And over here, telekinesis is actually capped because I love damaging monsters with telekinesis. Psych! Actually, it's because energy shield we're using down here actually gets -6 mana consumed per level based upon the number of points you have into telekinesis. So I actually have 17 points into energy shield, and up here I max out the actual telekinesis. Now, you could technically put more points and get more skills to get energy shield up to 95% absorb. Don't go above that because that's the cap. That's the most that you can absorb. But I decided to go this way and cap out the minus instead of capping out energy shield. And that's it for the skill tree. Pretty simple. Now, taking a look at the gear, I've already mentioned some of it, and there's a lot of other options. There's a lot of budget options. I'm just going to go over what I have right here. It's pretty much the best gear you can have, with some small exceptions, maybe a better, different base if you're self-wielding infinity to put it in the Sith. I get it, but single player, we do what we do. So right here, we've got a self-wielding infinity. For that minus lightning res, you got the Conviction Aura, Vitality, Magic Band, tons of stuff on here helping you out. Griffin's Eye, just found this before D4 launch. Absolutely awesome. You got to have this on there, obviously. We got a lightning skill amulet here, excuse me, with my little stutter there, with that 10 FCR. It's got some good resistances on it, which aren't going to be super important on this build. I could grab something else with energy or something, but it's not a huge. We wanted a couple skills on the lightning, so that's what we grabbed for that one. Viper Magi. Really, if you're not having your Hoto and your Spirit, Heart of the Oak I'm talking about, or your Oculus and Spirit, you're going to be missing a ton of faster cast rate. So you almost have to have Skin of the Viper Magi on here if you're going to be self-wielding infinity. So that's what I went with. And along with Energy Shield, the damage reduced, magic damage reduced, actually helps you out there. You obviously get a skill as well. Even though you can find these incredibly early on, even just early on in normal, it's funny that Frostburns are actually best in slot for these energy shield builds. The increased maximum mana is absolutely amazing. Now, also, once again, straight across here with the rings and the belt, you have to have these on here to get to if you want to hit the 105 FCR. So that would be all this stuff right here is giving you the FCR to get to 105. Kind of not necessarily the minimum. There is a lower breakpoint, but 105 is kind of where you want to get. Over on the boots, there's other options. Silk Weaves gives you mana after kill and a little bit of maximum mana, but I want to get a little bit more magic find. I'm a magic finder at heart, so you could go with those. Technically, they would be quote unquote better for your survivability, I suppose, but whatever, right? So down on the charms, obviously we're going to want to go Geeds, Annie, and a torch, the best you got, and lightning skiller straight across. Lightning Sunder charms can be helpful here, obviously, and we've got some magic find charms across the bottom. Over on swap, we want a call to arms. You could put points in to get a spirit up here, or a lot of people will throw a lidless eye to get one extra skill there. It's up to you. I didn't feel like searching around for 9 years, and I never really hang on to lidlesses usually, so I didn't have one, but a lidless eye shield right here. Its strength requirement's like 70 or something, 65 or something along those lines, so you can throw it on, no problem. Taking a look at the Mercenary. For the energy shield versions of sorceresses, I love to use the Prayer Mercenary. And on top of that, throw on Insight, throw on Cure, and if you had a perfect one, a perfect build, you'd really want to have Chains of Honor right here. I don't have one on single player. I could make one. I'm just haven't got around to it yet, so we throw on the Treachery. Chains of Honor has Life Leech on it and a ton of resistance. So that's the spot where you can get Life Leech. Your Mercenary is, it just will die sometimes if you do not have Life Leech anywhere on it. But for your survivability, having this prayer merc, or having this prayer right here, up here having cleanse can get rid of any poison or any curses and along those lines. And just with some of the changes to where prayer being meditation, right now actually if you have a meditation aura, it says you have a prayer aura. If you have a cleansing aura, you have a prayer aura. So it's almost like right now you have 3 prayer auras. I forget the way that synergy works together, but this will help out your survivability so astronomically with that setup on your Mercenary, with energy shield specifically. Alrighty, now what type of stuff would you go ahead and do with this? Let's say you're farming online or single player. We'll set this to players 3, and we'll say like act bosses perhaps. Maybe we'll go take on Andariel. You can definitely get good stuff from there. So here we are, and let's see how this works. Single target, and I mean Andariel melted, right? And we get a Viper Magi. Funny enough, I actually have a spirit in there, but we get a 31 Viper Magi. Kind of neat on the video, huh? Where would be perhaps the next place you want to go look? Mephisto? Now, once again, down at Mephisto here, we will not be using static because it's a little bit on the unnecessary side. I mean, he just melts right down right there, and easy peasy. Just a habit. I always come back here and hit that chest because I got lucky one time back in the day. But where's another good spot to test this out? The Chaos Sanctuary. Everybody loves clearing the Chaos Sanctuary, right? Then we'll climb into the Chaos Sanctuary and do a clear here. I'm not going to do a full clear. I think I'm just going to do like a kind of a seal pop. Just take out the seal bosses, get onto the Diablo type situation. So where's this one at? Find the guy I'm looking for. Take him out, move on. Make sure nothing crazy dropped. And Desace, not big fan of telestomp and Desace full packet or anything, so we'll take him out, no problem. Come over and take out Infector. They can have a lot of fire damage, and they're going to rip my Mercenary if I let them, because him not having any Life Leech. And the resistances, he doesn't have his Fade proc yet from his Treachery, so he's going to have some struggle with this particular pack if I don't play it safe. So for this one, players 3 difficulty, I'm just going to play it a little safe so I don't have to spend 50k gold to resurrect my boy Razan up here. Come on, can you guys please separate just ever so slightly? That'd be great. We'll telestomp him and take him out faster. Oh, I didn't get that one. Okay. We'll give our Mercenary a little bit of health back. Why not? And just for S's and G's, let's go with player 7 difficulty on the Diablo kill here, just to show the single target type of damage you can get out of this thing. So right here, a lot of them are hitting him individually. You don't want your Mercenary just to get completely melted in the fire, but that's where a lot of the damage comes from, because so many of those charged bolts hit the same person all at once, and we get some Bartuks. Absolute classic for Diablo 2 right there. And even though this is an absolute doo-doo terror zone, I can go ahead and show you, you can even come over into terror zones and clear that stuff a-okay as well. I did just turn this down to players 1, whatever. I mean, we could bump it up to players 3 or whatever. This area is so easy, but man, this terror zone is dog crap. But, you can go ahead and clear this type of stuff. We got some Immortal King's boots right there. Man, a lot of little stuff dropping right now. Kind of crazy for the vid too. So like I said, here's Eldritch, no problem. Knock him down. That was, of course, players 1. I don't know if I'm far enough to wait for this to take effect here on Shank, but or players 3 difficulty for that one. Generally, I just come down. Where is he at? Can I tele stomp him? There we go. And just rip him down, and the entire group obviously gets killed by the raining meteors. So, super easy there. Thresh Shocket, another... Man, I just love running me some Thresh Shocket. I think I'm going to use this character to run some Thresh Shocket here in the near future. But, if you want to run the good old classic Pindle, we're good for that one too. I mean, players 3 Pindle, probably just usually run on players 1, right? But you could do players 3, get a little extra experience and some, actually you could get rune chances from the monsters around him as well. So right there, a little bit of a different build you can try. If you do, let me know down in the comments. Peace out, fellas, and keep slaying.